turn it up, throw down your motherfucking door.
Hey guys, what is up? Otaku Mike here, doing another manga first impressions video for you guys today. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It always helps. Now, let's get into this. What are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about a book called Heavenly Delusions. It is by Masakazu Ishigaru. I hope I said that right. You know what? I probably butchered that name. What is this book about? Well, it's about a lot of things. I'll tell you that first and foremost. Our story starts out with this boy named Tokyo who is in this place, this facility run by robots. He hasn't seen the outside world, as well as the other children in this world. They have not seen the outside world. They seem to be somewhat intelligent, like really intelligent, and they keep having to do tests and stuff. Well, one day, Tokyo and his friends have to do this test. He gets this question, and it's like, do you want to go outside, or, you know, what's outside, basically something like that. And the question, he's like, what's going on? And the question disappears, so he wonders, what exactly is outside? And then from that, our story switches over to another boy named Maru, and Maru is looking for heaven, basically, looking for a sanctuary, and he is joined by his bodyguard, who he calls Sis. That's Maru, and that's Sis. And they're looking for heaven, and they're on the outside world, and the outside world is post-apocalyptic, destroyed, filled with these things called man-eaters, which are crazy. You see them trying to basically find heaven and basically trying to survive this crazy new unstoppable like apocalypse that has happened. The apocalypse has been around for 15 years, as they've said in this first volume. So they don't know much about the previous life before the apocalypse happened. So they talk about, oh, I hear these are trains, and I hear they move a lot of people and stuff like that. It was really interesting because the story kept switching back and forth between Tokyo and Maru and the other characters within the facility, as well as Maru and Sis. We don't know her actual name yet. And we spend a lot of time with Maru, but we do flash back over to Tokyo and stuff like that. And it's really interesting to see how these two stories, which I thought they were the same characters from the beginning, because there are two characters in the facility that look like Tokyo and look like Sis, but they look slightly different. So on that, I was really confused. But then I was like, oh wait, these are two stories happening. They're coinciding with each other, and I was just like really enthralled in this world that they're living in now. We get hints as to what happened and why the apocalypse was caused. Here's actually a really cool action scene with the man-eaters, as they're called. They call them other things as well. The monster designs are really interesting. They're very reminiscent of Parasite, if you've read that or watched that. But I found myself getting really interested as to how these two characters have managed to survive, and later on in this first book, you do learn about why they're trying to get to heaven, and what Maru's quest is to what he has to do when he gets there, which is really interesting. I don't want to spoil too much, but this book leaves you, after you read this book, it leaves you with questions, but it gives you answers as well. by the end of this book, something happens, and I was like, oh, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I was like, oh, how are we going to deal with this? I was really interested. I really, really loved the banter between Sis and Maru, because she is basically his bodyguard, or he hires her to be his bodyguard, and we have like banter between them and stuff like that. Something's going on with Maru. I don't exactly know what to this point, but eventually I hope to find out. This was a really, really interesting read. I really, really enjoyed a lot of the artwork in this book. The artwork had more of a softer, rounder style to it, different than what your normal manga artwork is, where it's a lot of jagged lines on the characters and stuff like that. All the characters have more rounder faces and stuff like that. But I really didn't know what to expect when I picked up this first volume. But man, was I blown away. I was confused at first, which that was probably a big thing, but I mean, there's probably a reason why our characters look alike. They might be clones. I don't know yet. But I want to see what happens. And this volume does what a volume should do. It should pull you into the story. You should be asking questions and wanting answers eventually sometime. You know, I don't want to go into too many spoilers, but it's cool. The story is pretty cool, and it flows at a very, very nice pace. There isn't too much information dumping. Occasionally there is, but it's not like overwhelming. You get to meet a lot of the survivors from the apocalypse. At one point they meet some like Gringy Otaku guys, and then later on they meet like a commune, almost like a cult type of thing. Not really a cult, it's more of a commune, hippies kind of. But yeah, it's really interesting, and surprisingly, the humor, there are parts in this which are surprisingly laugh out loud funny for a series that is supposed to kind of be serious, but there are funny moments, and the moments do break up. The levity does break up the serious moments from time to time. I can't highly recommend this enough. If you were on the fence about this, and you want a good post-apocalyptic like journey mystery type of thing, like this was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. It makes me want to check out more from this author or this mangaka. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I didn't know what to expect when I first bought this. I was confused at first, which was a downside, but I eventually got my bearings and was like, oh, okay. I see where we're going with this. But yeah, it was good. I loved the character interactions. I love the main cast for right now. Our two main people, or several main people, but our two main people, Maru and Sis, they're really cool characters. And they're still left me in the dark with answers, but I hope to get those answers soon. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. I'm Otaku Mike. Comment down below if you've read this or you plan on reading it, and give me your input on it. Thanks a lot.